Today I bring you a well-known Cuban story, and I wanted to share it with you. We've titled it, The Miraculous Amelia. When I was 12 years old, I visited Colón Cemetery for the first time. It was the funeral of a classmate's father. It was also my first time in a cemetery, and I was a bit scared. I had heard so many stories of ghosts and apparitions that I imagined being pursued by a spirit. So, I stayed close to my parents at all times. I remember keeping my eyes on the ground and not looking up. My mother, being observant, noticed I was a bit scared, so she tried to distract me. "Look at that interesting monument. That's the monument to the fallen firefighters," she said. I hesitantly lifted my eyes and agreed with her. Colón Necropolis is the third most important architecturally speaking in the world. According to experts, the cemetery was founded in 1876 and holds unique artistic pieces. As we explored the statues, my fear began to fade. After the funeral service, I asked my parents to take another stroll to see more artworks. As we passed through a section, we saw a group of people coming and going. I asked my parents what that was. "I think it's the tomb of La Milagrosa, the Miraculous," my father said. I asked them to get closer for a better look. Fortunately, as we approached, a group of Spanish tourists had just arrived, and the guide was narrating the story of Amelia Goyri de la Hoz. The Goyri de la Hoz family was part of Havana's aristocracy, expecting Amelia to marry someone appropriate to her social class. However, life, full of surprises, conspired for the beautiful Amelia to fall in love with her cousin, José Vicente y Rahel. The family opposed the relationship because José was middle class and did not meet the Goyri de la Hoz family's expectations. Despite the family's resistance, José enlisted and went to war for Cuba's independence. Upon his return to Havana, he tried once again to obtain the family's permission to marry Amelia. Now, he had some elements in his favor. Amelia's parents had passed away, and Amelia's sister, now married to a count, interceded with Amelia's aunt, now the legal guardian of the girl, to grant permission. Finally, the aunt agreed, and on the same day, in a simple ceremony, they married on June 25, 1900. The couple lived happily, especially when they learned they were expecting a child. But life, capricious and cruel at times, would once again snatch happiness from José. On the Holy Cross Day, May 3, 1901, Amelia lost her life in childbirth complications. The child had died in her womb, and they couldn't extract him. Victim of eclampsia, Amelia lost her life. Devastated, José buried his beloved wife, and following the customs of the time, they placed the baby's corpse between the mother's legs. Cuban sculptor José Villalta de Saavedra, a close friend of José and Amelia's husband, wanted to pay homage to his friend's wife. He sculpted a Carrara marble statue, brought from Italy, depicting Amelia holding her son in her left arm and a cross in the other hand, referencing her death on the Holy Cross Day. For 40 years, José visited his beloved every day, performing a small ritual. First, he struck the tomb 3 times with the ring. Then, he placed his hand on the tombstone while talking to his beloved. When saying goodbye, he always walked backward to not offend his lady. 13 years later, another loss would darken José's life. The loss of his father was very hard for him. So, José insisted on burying his father next to his wife and son. When they exhumed the 2 bodies, both Amelia's and her son's were intact. The baby's body no longer rested between Amelia's legs, now, it lay in an embrace on his mother's chest. Immediately, José began shouting, "Miracle, miracle," as he cried and grabbed his head. The story spread among the inhabitants of Havana, and since then, many people visit the tomb of La Milagrosa, seeking Amelia's intercession. Devotees bring caps and woven shoes for the child as thanks for favors received. As the guide told the story, A couple approached the tomb and performed the same ritual that one had done over 100 years ago. They left a small yellow blanket on the tomb. The couple, along with everyone present, had faced problems getting pregnant and had asked La Milagrosa to intercede for them. 3 months after visiting the tomb on May 3rd, the woman learned that she was pregnant. She recounted that the pregnancy was super difficult, and when she went into labor, things got complicated. The child changed position and wouldn't come out. After pushing so much, she had no strength left and started to faint. The doctors were genuinely concerned and began preparing for a cesarean section. In a moment of clarity, the woman saw a woman standing next to her, saying, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." She inexplicably found the strength to push until the child was born. Doctors said it was a miracle. If she hadn't been able to give birth at that moment, both would probably be dead. The woman brought that blanket as an ex voto in gratitude for accompanying and sometimes saving her son from death. The tomb of La Milagrosa is filled with flower plaques and other expressions of gratitude from the people who seek her favor. Even today, many people continue to visit, touch the ring, speak to Amelia with their hand on the tombstone, and say goodbye without turning their backs to not offend La Milagrosa. Before finishing, I want to thank you once again for your support. Thanks to the new subscribers, and welcome,